theaters have been struggling a little bit recently. The theaters have had trouble either getting people in the doors or keeping their movies in theaters long enough for people to discover them before waiting to go on the streaming. I mean, the theatrical window used to be 90 days, was you keep your movie in theaters for 90 days and then release it on physical media on a video on demand site for rental, something like that. They've shrunk that down to 45 days. Some things come out in 2 weeks. Once they've been in theaters, you can already rent it in like 2 weeks. And the audience is getting accustomed to just getting these things at home quicker, easier. And it's one of the reasons that they're not going to the movie theaters. And in that, the movie theaters are struggling and the studios are struggling. And they got to find out something to fix this. Well, one studio that looks like they're smartening up and looks like they know what they have and they know that they can make money on it is Disney and Pixar, because it has just come out that Disney Pixar will be keeping Inside Out 2 in theaters, not for 45 days, not for 60 days, not for the standard 90 days, but 100 days in theaters. This comes to us from comicbookmovie.com. And they say Pixar confirms long theatrical window for Inside Out 2. Inside Out 2 is about the personified emotions inside the mind of a 13-year-old Riley, but the Pixar, which will open the sequel 9 years after the $858 million grossing original on June 14th, it's the first test of a recent rethink, getting it into the heads that Pixar's movies won't be available to stream on Disney Plus until after a long exclusive theatrical window. Pixar president Jim Morris told Bloomberg that Inside Out 2 will screen for at least 100 days in theaters, more than doubling the 47-day window of 2022's Lightyear and surpassing the 89-day wait for 2023's Elemental to arrive on Disney+. A slow burn at the box office, the animated rom-com was Disney Plus's biggest movie premiere since Pixar's own Turning Red and went on to the top Nielsen streaming movies charts when it eventually landed on the streamer after 3 months in theaters. So, that's important for what we're about to talk about here, because here is what they're saying over at Disney and Pixar. First of all, before we get into the obvious, making money at the theaters, keeping it longer for people to discover it, all that kind of stuff, with Bob Chapek, when Bob Chapek was CEO, before Bob Iger has now returned, he burned Pixar people. I mean, it was all over the trades. They did not hide it. Pixar was very upset of the treatment that they were being under Bob Chapek. He put their Pixar movies onto Disney Plus, Soul, Turning Red, and there was Luca, all premiered on Disney Plus, did not get theatrical releases, and Pixar was mad about that. So this is obviously a course correction and kind of reassuring Pixar, hey, we care about your movies in theaters. We are going to give you guys we want you guys to succeed in theaters. We're going to help you to succeed. But beyond the Pixar jadedness that they're trying to fix over at Disney, Inside Out 2 is going to be huge. Mm-hmm. Inside Out 2, as it mentioned in that article, the first one made $858 million. That was 9 years ago. So you had people who were 9 years old who saw Inside Out 2, who are now nostalgic, or Inside Out, who are now nostalgic about that movie. They've grown up. They're now 18 years old, 19 years old, and they might have, I don't know, there's some of them that have kids that they're going to be bringing this to. And when you put it into perspective of 100 days exclusively theatrical, even people who don't go to the movies all the time are not necessarily wanting to wait that long, especially if they're a kid or if they have a family that want to go see this. I mean, they are making it so that in September, I mean, this is going to open in June. Yep. In September, there can be a family that's like, hey, you know what? It's calmed down a little bit. We're not doing anything tonight. Inside Out's still playing. I heard it was great. Let's go check it out. Is that on Disney Plus yet? No, it's still in theaters. Oh, let's go check it out in theaters. This honestly takes this movie from, in my opinion, opening to like, or not opening, but like ending its run at like 900 million to putting it over that $1 billion mark. I think if this is as good as the first one, if this captivates audiences, even if it's not as good, but it captivates audiences and people come out enjoying this thing and word of mouth spreads, this will have legs and legs and legs and legs for days in the summer. Because there's also, besides Despicable Me 4, which, is going to, if they don't stick to what Disney's doing, it's going to come and go. This is going to be like the longest running kids franchise movie played in theaters the entire summer.
Yep.
this will be what the kids can go to the entire summer. I think this is brilliant. I think this is what we need for the theaters, for Disney to get back on track, and I hope that we get to see more of this. Ace, what do you think of the decision to keep Inside Out 2 in theaters for 100 days, not 45, not 90, 100? And do you think it's a smart move on Disney's part?
First and foremost, I think they heard our last Members Talk Live. And if you guys haven't watched it, make sure you go watch it on Zach's playlist where we got to talk about this very thing. What's wrong with the theater? They definitely are subscribers to you. And they're like, yo, we got to put this out 100 days, 3 months, over a little over 3 months. This is what the movie theaters need. Cover the whole summer. Like, don't get it twisted like it's going to be in every single theater. Like,
Right.
so there's some theaters that are going to take it out early. There's some theaters that are going to take it out of the bigger ones and put it in the smaller ones. But at least it's giving you an opportunity to watch it. Like, go see it early, and then they'll put like maybe from like 6 showings to like 2 and then 1, stuff like that. But at least it's there giving people the opportunity to make money. Because no matter what, people are going to go to watch a movie. Even you never really see an empty theater. You'll see like maybe 2 or 3 people in there, but they're still going to watch it. But it needs
Lisa Frankenstein had nobody. When
Oh,
I went
I
to
didn't
go
see
see
that
Lisa
one though. So I mean, I went to this past weekend when I was working. I went to see the Blue Angels documentary, and I was in there, and there was like 2 other people in there, and I didn't think it's been out and it's on Netflix already, but yet people still went. But this is what the theaters need. Everybody needs to take note of this, and I hope it does well enough that everybody starts emulating this and
Mhm.
keeping movies in the theater longer, because people like us, we love going to the theater. I go see movies that I enjoy multiple times. Like, even if like Deadpool Wolverine, I imagine I'm probably going to go see it double digit times. That's what I do when it comes to
Mhm.
movies I like. And this movie is something that I would love to go see like by myself and then go see with my niece again, but it's what the theaters need. And it's like what we talked about the entire time in your last Members Talk Live. You're making things too streaming accessible,
Yeah.
and that's really hurting the theaters at the end of the day. Why wait? Why would I go see a theater? Why would I go to the theater to see it when I can wait a month, pay $20 as opposed to over $100, and then I can just watch it from the comfort of my own home? You're now making theaters irrelevant at the end of the day. And you know what I think they also should do? They should do a double feature with the first one, in my opinion. Why not do like back to backs where you can get a ticket,
Ooh.
like watch the first one and then have like a 30-minute break because there's going to be kids, and then watch the second one. I think that would draw
Yeah,
people in.
sometimes it's hard to get kids to sit through one movie. I don't know if they can do a double feature.
I'd do it. I'd go watch both. But I think it's what the theaters need. Like, hopefully it works out and they're on to something here. But we can only hope. We'll see. We'll see when we pick up this conversation in September is when it'll be over, and we'll see how much
Yeah.
it really makes. And then the thing is, how quick after September are they going to stream it? Are they
Well,
going to wait a month?
that's a question I'll throw to you is the box office. What do you think this does for the box? Where do you think Inside Out 2 was going to land, and now that they're extending it this amount for the box office run, has that changed how much money you think it's going to make at the box office?
Let me see. I'm gonna look up Inside Out, the first one.
The first one did 858 million
Okay,
at the end of its run.
this is gonna make more than that because of how good the first one was, and then meme culture picked up on the first one too and made it popular. So I think this could hit a billion, especially with its extended run. It definitely. I agree with you what you were saying. You were saying it easily should get about 900, but a billion is very accessible for this movie as long as it's gonna be in the theater.
I mean, we're talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. We're talking about Despicable Me 4. Does this
Make it the
give it the
third.
legs to make it the
Mhm.
biggest movie of the summer?
Also, you have to take in consideration when you're talking about a billion. Box office tickets are more expensive now than they were back
True.
then, so that adds on to it as well. Um, we're gonna have to see, but I think it's a good shot. Yeah, I'm looking at 858 billion a million. I think it could get to a billion. I think so. If it's good, if word of mouth
Yeah,
spreads and it's
it has to
good,
be good.
yeah. But they're also gonna have to continue marketing themselves. Like, for some reason, it kills me that movies hit the theater and then they decide, okay, we're gonna start selling ourselves. Like, still make commercials for it, stuff like that. And I think people will end up going. And like I said, 3 months is a long time to be in theaters, and it gives people that time to say, hey, I didn't get a chance to catch it the first month, but it's still out now. And like, I forgot who said it on your members talk, but movie adjacent stuff, makes you brings in other attention as well, because like Deadpool and Wolverine and other movies, people will go see that, but like, oh, maybe I don't really want to see that. Let's go see Inside Out.
Right.
and that'll bring in other people too. So
Very true. I will say, beyond just fixing Pixar's jadedness, beyond making money at the box office, this shows a lot of confidence and faith in Inside Out 2. I mean, the fact that they're going to leave it in for this long when they could, like, okay, we'll put it out and then we'll just put it on Disney Plus and people will subscribe to watch it there and all that. Like, they know what they have here. I think this is what they're telling us right now. They're like, this is great. People are going to love it. They're going to come back again and again and again and again. And we want them to come back as many times as they can. So let's extend this thing as far as we can. I think this is just nothing but green flags for Inside Out 2. And it makes me even more excited to go see this movie when it comes out.
Yeah.
In
the thing I'm gonna add to
next week.
The thing I'm gonna add to, they have to be patient with the because this is the thing. If it's spread out like it is, people aren't gonna go rush to see it. They still might see it. So the opening day box office numbers might not be what they want them to be, but just be patient and see how it pans out throughout the entire summer. Because like if it's not a rush to go see it, people might be like, okay, let's go see it in a month, or let's go see it next week. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So the opening box office numbers might not blow you away, but this is relying more on longevity as a marathon instead of a sprint.
Well, thank you very much for checking out this clip from our live show that we do every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time called Zach Milne Talks Live. If you like talking movies, if you like talking movie news, why don't you consider hitting that subscribe button before you leave? We do that on this channel all the time. But if you still need some time before you fully commit, you can check out the full video this clip is from right here, and you can check out another video over here. The subscribe button's right here.